Hi everyone, it's Nicole Wilkins with FitnessRx for Women, and this is my next question and answer segment where I took your questions from Facebook and I'm going to answer them for you today. The first question I have is, how do you stay committed to your diet? I find that I stay on track during the week and I go out a little crazy on the weekends. I want this to stop. Well, let me start off by saying you are the only one who can make up your mind as far as what you want to get away with and what you want to stick with. So it's up to you to make the decision about how strict you want to be. How do I stay committed to my diet? Number one, you have to have a goal. So always be prepared. I always have my cooler with me, or if I don't have a cooler, I always have something in my purse to eat. If I also think about how I want to look, and I do have cheat meals or treats, but they're thought out and planned, and I don't regret them and I don't overdo them. So it takes practice, but really you have to be the one to make the decision to be committed to your program, whatever that may be. But look at your lifestyle and figure out what is realistic, and always think in the long term, like, what can I do for life? The next question is, if you had to give us just one, your best ever, the tip to lower body fat, it would be, wow, this is really hard to just pick one. I think the thing that people struggle with the most is the nutrition portion, because it is hard. But I also feel like women in general don't lift weights enough. And you have to have muscle to burn more body fat. So I would probably say, to burn more body fat, lift heavy weights and build muscle. Then focus on your diet by eating, monitoring your portions and not overdoing anything. So probably the best ever one tip I could give is to lift heavy weights. Hi Nicole, what do you drink throughout the day besides water? Energy drinks, tea, sparkling water. I'm trying to kick my addiction to diet sodas, but I get super bored. Thanks. Well, throughout the day, I try to drink about 1 gallon to 1.5 gallons of water. It's something that I struggle with, but I know that I always feel better when I get enough water in. I'm not a huge energy drink kind of girl. I do drink a lot of hot tea or iced tea, and I do drink coffee. I hate sparkling water. I'll drink it if I have to, but I really am not a fan. But I'm like you, I love Diet Pop. Well, back in the Midwest, we call it pop. I will have one every once in a while, but I've really cut those out a lot. So actually, I haven't had one in probably 4 months. But yeah, water, coffee, tea. The next question I have is, I work till very late at night, so I do not get up until 9 a.m. in the morning. Then I go to the gym for a 10 a.m. workout. What should I consume before I train? I find eating oats is too heavy. I can feel nauseous if I do. If I have a protein shake when I first get up, should I add any oil or fruits to it, or should I just leave it plain? Is it okay to work out without having consumed any starchy carbs? Thank you. Yes, it's okay to train if you don't have any carbs before your workout. I think this is a very individual thing. So unless you're training for longer than 2 hours in duration, protein shake is sufficient enough. If you feel like when you are working out with just a protein shake, you're kind of fading out, you need a little bit more, then I would say, yeah, add a little bit of fats to it to help slow down the digestion, and then after your training session, have your oatmeal or whatever carbohydrate source you want to help replenish the glycogen that you utilize during your training session. So keep it lighter and just have that protein shake. You should be just fine. The next question is, I work out in the evenings after work. On days I go to the gym, I typically lift for an hour or more and then do 20 to 35 minutes of cardio. If I want to add a little bit of muscle, will a cardio after weights hinder my muscle growth, and would steady state cardio or HIIT be better after weights? Thank you. A couple of factors here. If you train after work for an hour and then you do about 20 to 35 minutes of cardio, no, it won't hinder your muscle growth, but you want to make sure that you're taking in enough calories throughout the day. I would recommend, if you're only doing that short duration, to do high intensity intervals. Unless, of course, it was a leg day or a really tough workout, then I would just do maybe 20 to 30 minutes of steady state. So listen to your body, and also depends on how many days a week you're doing it. So if you're doing it every single day, maybe alternate the days and do HIIT one day, then steady state, HIIT, steady state, so you're not overdoing it. But if you're taking in enough calories to support your training and your goals, then that cardio post-workout won't hinder any muscle growth. And the last question I have is, what do you do when you wake up hungry? It's a complete mental game. What do you do to avoid grabbing a midnight snack? Well, when I go to bed at night, I usually don't wake up unless it's because I have to go to the restroom. So a couple things. One, if you are going to wake up hungry, it's not going to kill you if you have something light and then go back to bed. But one thing you could do is maybe take a look at what you're eating throughout the day and try to increase your calories. You can also eat right before you go to bed. So that rule about eating at 6 o'clock and then not eating after that is a myth. So it's all about calories in and calories out. So it doesn't really matter when you have them. You can eat right before you go to bed. In fact, that's what I do every single night. So I think that might help keep you more satisfied during the night, and you can have a more restful sleep. So that's all I have for you guys this week. Until next week, keep asking your questions on the FitnessRx for Women Facebook page, and I'll be back every Friday to answer them for you. Until then, keep living the fit life.